Heck yeah.
There we are. There we are. Okay, Leo,
Yeah.
it's time. You already have it pulled up on the screen.
Yes, I do.
The Dune Prophecy trailer, likely the final trailer before
Yeah.
the show finally comes out next month, has just dropped.
hmm
And neither you nor I have watched it yet. And we're going to
hmm
do so together here,
I've
live on
also
stream.
very recently basically reread Sisterhood by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to maybe look for some familiar plot beats. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go, folks.
We've never seen a force like this.
Oh, we have to. They said watch down
Sisterhood.
the boys.
Draws women from many worlds. To advance our species and govern the future. The Imperium is fragile. The great houses fight for control. Now is the time to secure the throne and protect the Imperium.
This endangers everything. There are secrets we have gone to great lengths to keep.
Okay.
The Imperium is a circus of fear and rumor. I'm surrounded by vipers. If I lose control of Arrakis, the great houses would feed me to the worm.
Oh, cool.
Your Majesty, the troubles are far greater than just Arrakis. There's a war hidden in plain sight. I'm the only one that can tell you the truth.
Okay.
What do you want?
To wipe out every trace of the sisters from our world.
Hello.
That is why I've been gifted a great bow.
Oh. What?
Consider me a true believer.
What?
We've never seen a force like this. This could destroy the Imperium. We must act.
Yeah, it's a TV show. You gotta act.
I see the corruption in your heart.
There we go.
Same way I see
HBO
the blood
sex scene.
trailing your every step.
Whoa.
This is madness.
The reckoning is here.
Whoa. What?
I run a school for young women. We're not a threat to anyone.
Wow.
LOL. Interesting.
Okay.
Sorry again, folks, for the. It's a little choppy on the
Oh, is it?
stream.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
which I think is just Riverside's fault when you're sharing your screen like that. So apologies, folks, for that on the live stream. Wow, interesting.
Wow. Good Lord. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. I am still very excited to see Dune stuff because Dune
Yeah.
stuff is Dune stuff. And, you know, I'm never going to complain about getting more Dune stuff. But I've got questions. What do you think, dude? Is there a moment that jumps out at you?
I think what jumps out at me is the visuals right off the bat. I am quite impressed. The visuals feel very Dune. The costuming feels very Dune. I think they've done a good job matching it to the Villeneuve aesthetic in a way that it feels like it's still the same universe, part of the same universe.
I was going to say soundtrack too. Like it very much sounds
Right.
like the Hans Zimmer, you know, the chant, the whisper kind of track of the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure. I guess I didn't expect the story to be about someone trying to eradicate the Sisterhood. Clearly, the Emperor is concerned about Arrakis. The trailer does a good job of not giving a ton away, I think,
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I'm walking away from this trailer still not quite knowing what the plot of this show is, which is a good thing. You don't want the trailer to be giving the whole movie away or the whole show away.
Right.
But I am interested. We're seeing a lot of iconic Dune imagery. We're seeing blue eyes. We're seeing what clearly appear to be visions of some sort. Whether they're prescient or otherwise is still unclear. I think the worm coming up and swallowing that city whole doesn't feel like reality to me. It feels like a vision.
Yeah, like a prophecy or something. A prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's. I don't know how much you want me to say about like Brian Herbert's book, but this idea of like secrets that the Bene Gesserit have to keep, and if those secrets get out, it could mean the end of the sisterhood is very much from the book. So the idea
Interesting.
of
Okay.
this internal conflict. Now, Valia Harkonnen, who is this woman, this actress who's awesome, Valia Harkonnen learns the voice, and I think it kind of seems like that's maybe young Valia in the background.
Yeah.
And it's the voice is being used like channeling the older version or something. It's very interesting. And
Yeah.
I say that because of one specific quote, which was from the showrunner. Let me pull it up. It was something that you shared on the Discord. But a little bit later in the showrunner said, some of them are actively communicating with their female ancestors at any given time. There are hidden stories, hidden histories, and secrets to be discovered in the past that very much influence the present as our characters design the future. So very interesting. We are getting these kind of multiple timelines, clearly seeing
Yeah.
young, but I'm interested about this guy's power.
Who is this guy? Is this guy seem like anyone from the book to you?
He's
having
definitely
recently
not.
read the book. No. Okay.
He might be modeled after Manfred Toronto, who's the leader of the Butlerians, and who doesn't really have that much of a relationship to the Bene Gesserit. Like, they don't really have much to say about each other, other than, well, yeah. So he doesn't really. In the book, Manfred Toronto doesn't give a shit about the sisterhood. He's all anti-technology. So this character, as well as the Emperor, appear to be fully original, or are borrowing from later Brian books that I haven't read. Are the two possibilities. But I think this guy's name is Desmond Hart. I think. I'm gonna
Gotcha.
pull up in
Yeah.
the-
I mean, seemingly he has gotten into the ear of the Emperor
yeah.
and is really, he has some beef with the Bene Gesserit, clearly, and doesn't want the Emperor to work with them. Arrakis is certainly involved. Can you scrub through? Did we see any more shots of Arrakis beyond that worm swallowing the city?
So we have this moment, which is like a keep building structure being swallowed. Then we have, this idea of the Emperor losing control of Arrakis is kind of interesting. And the implication that if he, like Arrakis is the thing that is keeping him safe from being held accountable by the Landsraad.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing. Oh,
Yeah. You know what kind of, honestly, my sort of gut reaction to this trailer is kind of like meh, mostly because I am walking away being a little more confused about the show. And this is kind of on my mind because I'm doing a rewatch of Arcane on Netflix
oh yeah.
in preparation for season 2, which is coming out soon. And that show has like such a strong through line and thesis, right? This is a show about these two sisters and
Right.
and their journey over the course of this story. This trailer fails to convey, if there is a through line, fails to convey any sort of like through line or context for who these characters are. It's like little vignettes of like, this guy's the Emperor, he's worried about Arrakis. This lady uses the voice, so she's a Bene Gesserit. They have a big secret. This guy hates the sisterhood. But I don't know. And not that a trailer needs to explain the whole thing, but it does need to get me excited to watch something happen. And this is a lot of sort of like out of context vignettes of things happening that I have no idea about. And it doesn't necessarily get me super excited. Like I'm thinking back to like the Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2 trailers, which had like very clear theses, had like very clear, well, I don't know, I guess since I know Dune so well, I'd watch those trailers and know exactly what every scene was.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mixed feelings, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, same. I think I think Zaptasia said it in chat, like the clearly a great budget. It's looking great. The visuals all really cool. But we're getting these very spooky kind of scenes that don't really connect, or it's also hard because this is sitting somewhere between this book that I now know very well, actually,
Yeah.
and the familiar events of Dune, and kind of navigating like what Villeneuve has done, but it's also a new project, but also Brian Herbert is an executive producer of it. So even if the showrunners are distancing themselves from the original book, I think it probably still is sort of in line with some of his storytelling elements. This shot of the like machine world and the laser kind of seems like maybe post Butlerian Jihad, like, I don't know, Factory Planet X, maybe, Rachis, and their forbidden technologies. So, yeah.
Right.
Also, the bowl, another probably vision. Lots of visions, lots of perhaps prescience, perhaps. And there are people with, Brian's book has people who have like psychic abilities, and they can like psychic blast each other and some things like that. So there are superhuman abilities all over Brian's story. So it's possible we have some of that here.
Yeah.
Well, looks great. I mean, again, visual tone is very consistent across. It's looking very exciting. They established some stakes, right? The Bene Gesserit is attempting to grow and kind of find its footing. Someone who is clearly organized and leading people. He's got the ear of the Emperor. He's trying to shut down the Bene Gesserit, and then the Emperor is just trying to kind of keep a hold of the galaxy. Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got the,
I mean,
it's got the word Dune
if
in
all
it.
of those pieces of the puzzle can come together in a compelling way, I'm interested. I'm always going to be interested in more Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you scrub through one more time? I'm curious. I feel like it was a lot of characters talking. I'm curious to get a sense of locations. So, like, this is one place, seemingly.
So in the beginning of Dune, Sisterhood of Dune, they're on Rosik. The Bene Gesserit are on Rosik. But by the end
Okay.
of the book, they're relocated to Wallach 9. So I
Ah.
suspect if this is following some of the beats of Brian's narrative, we are likely seeing Wallach 9 in some of these, like, they're on this kind of cold, barren planet.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah, if the show
Wallach
leans
9.
into that, I would love to watch like an origin story of the Sisterhood, but the name change from Sisterhood to Prophecy makes me think maybe different direction. The fact that this trailer isn't so Bene Gesserit focused, and in fact we see a lot of the Emperor and this guy who hates the Bene Gesserit. I don't know. I feel like an interesting through line. I don't want to prejudge the show. We haven't watched it yet. We certainly will. We'll cover it on Gam Jabbar. But that to me feels like a strong through line for the show. This is the founding of the Sisterhood and the struggles they went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see if that's actually how the show plays out.
And it's for sure, I think there's some good things to say about the Brian book, but the book has like 3.5 plots. So it is a little bit dependent on which one they choose to kind of cut, which one they go with. And all of this feels like Wallach 9. These shots probably like Chiton, or maybe, because the book doesn't have
hard to
that many
tell.
planets that aren't pretty established. Like there's
Oh, okay.
Portran, there's Kepler is a new planet, but this isn't Kepler. It doesn't look like it. So yeah, I imagine it would be probably one of the familiar ones, like Chiton or like I don't know, Portrin, maybe?
Yeah,
Could be Portrin.
that makes sense. I
'Cause
like
there's
the
a
ship
whole-
design.
The ship design's great. I appreciate how populated all of these scenes look. You know, like that was one of our
Yeah.
big complaints about Villeneuve's movies, was that it just feels like the main characters in these incredible sets and situations. Versus this really looks like, oh yeah, there's like parties, there's bustling docks, like look at all the people doing stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
This really
such
feels
a
like
good
a
point, Leo. Yeah.
populated world, which is good, if nothing else.
Which is a plus.
If
Right,
nothing else,
right.
that's good. Yeah, we get to see some
More
seedy
ship design
bars,
there.
people doing Sappho shots off each other's bodies, Sappho body shots. We have Varys and Littlefinger. Sorry, I mean these totally original Dune characters. Oh, that series of shots where it's like the eye that becomes the sort of like desert storm
The storm. Yeah, very cool transition.
into the sun, into the
And then, yeah,
castle,
into this vision clearly.
vision. So yeah, maybe his powers are just prescience, or he has like a. He's not an Atreides. There
yeah,
is an Atreides.
This like new character, Desmond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Desmond has something like that. There is an Atreides character, and I think it's the young swordmaster, based on casting and the IMDb
Gotcha.
page.
Oh yeah, we do see a shot of some combat, I believe, with that young swordmaster guy.
Yeah, what is that?
Very
What is
curious what's happening there.
Gom Jabbar test visualized
Right.
differently? Maybe.
Yeah,
The
or
box
maybe
of
like a
pain.
preliminary, like an early version of the Gom Jabbar test before the box comes into play.
They actually just burn the shit out of you. Put
Just
your hand in
throw
this
acid
oven.
on your hand.
What's in the oven? Oven shit. I don't know. Consider me a true believer. Okay. Sure. Okay, so I don't know. I can't tell.
This guy you're saying is maybe the Atreides?
Yeah, although he's kind of in the background. Let me see if I can find. This is Constantine Carino, maybe.
Oh, okay.
The son, because
The Emperor.
same guy is right there, is right behind,
I see. Son of
Salvador.
the Emperor, presumably.
or not Salvador. Fuck, what's this guy's name? Again, new character, Javico Carino, Emperor Javico, and then Kieran
Not from the book.
Atreides. Yeah, not from the book. I'm excited to talk about the book because there's a lot to say. This
Yeah.
guy that's the Atreides sword guy, Kieran.
Okay.
One second, that guy.
That guy
So
right
that's
there. Okay.
Kieran Atreides. He's a sword master and probably the one fucking, because if I know anything about House Atreides,
They fuck.
so they fuck. The worm is also an Atreides. Okay, so yeah, this kind of machine world. Ooh, we had a little
Here we
flash
go.
of
There's
the
the combat.
little flash of the shield too.
Oh
That's
yeah,
very
the
cool.
red shield there.
Got horses, not Thorses
Horse
though.
riding. Yeah, disappointed not seeing a Thorse, but I'll give it a pass.
That's such a deep
The
complaint.
VFX budget, could not add extra
legs.
limbs to that horse.
They just couldn't do
There
it.
we go. Atreides fucking.
Yeah. Oh no, that looks like Carino guy.
Oh, we were wrong.
So maybe Carino, and who's that lady? Oh my god. Oh, that's Shannon Racheese.
From House Racheese. Okay.
Yeah, Lady Shannon Racheese. But again, House Racheese was kind of like just arrived. Have we okay, and actually we have some questions. Hey,
In chat,
SA
okay.
Sphinx, yeah. And Sylvain, we have not yet identified the story beats. Well, that's the thing. We have an episode that we're going to be doing about the Brian Herbert book and what plot lines from the Brian Herbert book probably will make their way to this show, which we can now use this trailer also to kind of hone our expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem like the Bene Gesserit trying to keep their secrets, and if you've read the book, you know what secret they're keeping. The Emperor being kind of a shitty emperor and being held accountable. Salvador Carino sucks and is trying to avoid that a little bit in the book as well. So yeah, could be a couple of things, but it really does seem, it really seems like Desmond Hart is like, hey,
Antagonist.
Emperor, I want to kill all the Bene Gesserit.
Right.
And the Emperor's like, sounds good. Spice Agony looks like. This
Yep.
seems like a Spice Agony scene too. Like this kind of feels like maybe. So one of the things from the book is Spice Agonies that go wrong, and you get kind of like lost in a coma, or you wake up with like savant syndrome, or like you're permanently mentally damaged if you mess
okay.
up. So this could be like a Spice Agony that's going wrong, right? Where
Yeah.
instead of, kind of being at peace with your other voices, they like close in on you and maybe even attack you. And it's this sort of like
Yeah.
terrifying thing. Like that could be really, really cool to see.
That could be really cool to see. I agree.
And then that's young
That's a
Valia,
great read on that.
old Valia,
Right.
young Valia, old Valia. Take out your knife. Cut the tomatoes with the knife.
Diced.
Dice the tomatoes. They cannot be chopped. They cannot be crushed. I'm so curious about this, like shamanistic scene. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? What is that? And then Spinks says, "Are we planning to get any guests on our show who are involved with the production? Are we planning on it? We're open to it.
We're planning to ask.
We're planning to ask for sure.
Whether or not they're available or say yes is obviously difficult.
Yeah.
We certainly, I mean, we blasted out emails when Dune Part 2 came out to everyone everyone that we were interested in having on the show for cast and crew. Got some nice responses back too.
It's true.
But they were all very polite no's. So we'll certainly do the same again for Dune Prophecy. Try and get the showrunner or the actors, writer, costume designer, anyone who worked on the show. And we'll see, hopefully.
Yeah. One of the worms. Be cool.
Yeah.
So they're chanting around this
There's that
pyre.
shamanistic ritual again, right?
Sex, knife. Oh, does she knife herself? Is that
Oh.
Oh my god, spoilers? Are you spoiling your own fucking show? This lady is, I think she's performing a number from Moulin Rouge, it looks like, maybe? Lady Satine. Okay, more vision. Ooh, first thumper. Oops. Cool. And then I suspect this Valia Harkonnen. So this room looks a little bit like the room where the Emperor. Yeah. So this scene where the Emperor is in a room kind of looks like the
Yeah.
same room. Maybe this is
same meeting
Valia.
room.
Maybe this is Valia summoned to speak on behalf of the Sisterhood and saying, like, listen, we're just a school. I don't know what Desmond's
Right.
talking about.
What are you guys up to? I'm hearing some shady shit
Yeah. She's like, we're just a school. We're just a silly
for
little
gifted young
school.
girls. We're teaching them arithmetic.
Our Professor Xavier is very good with our gifted young women.
He's so good.
Spinks.
Don't mind the headpiece.
Don't mind the headpiece. Yeah. Spinks says, get Brian on the show.
If he wants to come on the show, I'm game.
Yeah. That's a real.
I would
yeah.
love that.
I guess I'd yeah. Yeah, sure.
We'd certainly have some questions for him.
That's outrageous. Welcome to Gom Jabbar, Brian. First question. What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sylvain says Mark Strong. Love to see him in there. Terrific actor.
Oh.
Yeah,
wait.
I believe
Oh,
Mark
shit.
Strong is the one playing Javico Carino, right?
Wait, did I stop it before that? November 17th? Is that new?
Oh, did they announce the official release? November 17th, we have a release date. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Pretty good.
So that is, oh wow, exactly a month away. Today is October 17th.
It's as if they planned it.
Damn, crazy.
What a Powinda Gola.
Very
What a
cool.
username. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, we're going to be covering the show
We will.
episode by episode is the game plan. So actually what we're going to be doing November 17th, when the first episode comes out, I think that's a Sunday. Our plan is to have our episodes pre-recorded and hopefully, fingers crossed, stars align and everything goes well production-wise, hopefully release our analysis, reaction, breakdowns of each episode the following Monday morning after the episodes release on HBO Sunday nights. That's the hope. So we will be doing episode by episode breakdowns of Dune Prophecy, which I'm looking forward to. It's always fun to talk to someone about a show week by week. I am
Yeah.
very anti binge drop. Like, here's the whole damn show, watch it, and then never talk about it again. I like watching a show, talking about it, reading theories online, going down Reddit rabbit holes, having conversations with coworkers and friends about it. I think that communal experience is something we are sadly losing in the streaming era.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, that feeling of like speculating, like what's next, getting to live with
Yeah.
a whole week of, and sometimes where it doesn't work out, where you have like a great idea of like, oh, I think it's going to be this, and then it's something else, and you're like, my idea is better. But yeah. To Sylvain's question, I think there's 6 episodes according to IMDb.
Yes, that's at least what we have found. So I think we're looking at a 6-episode season, which feels short, especially if there's multiple plot threads. But
Yeah.
it is season 1. It's kind of
Yeah.
that's another in the era of streaming. That's another reality we just kind of live with now. Is seasons are tiny, 6 episodes, 8 episodes max. Sadly, that's the norm these days.
They're like, there's going to be 74-hour-long episodes. It's like, wow. All right.
Yeah, I mean, anime is like the last bastion of the long season. You know,
Yeah.
anime still does its classic like 20 plus seasons, 20 plus episode seasons.
Yeah. It's pretty good. So that's exciting. Yeah. And we have quite a few kind of big questions to answer for ourselves production-wise on making all that happen. But I think it's going to be a good time either way.
Yeah,
Zaptagus points out there's 3 episodes already have titles listed on IMDb.
nice.
And Sylvain points out that's not shorter than the previous Dune TV series, which is true.
That's
is-
true.
We are doubling the number of available Dune television episodes.
That the math checks out.
What are the episodes
That is
called?
true.
The Hidden Hand, Two Wolves, Sisterhood Above All, and then episode 4, and episode 5, and episode 6. All right.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that's our reaction to the new Dune Prophecy trailer. Excited that we got a release date, November 17th. Hope y'all will be there. We are planning some exciting production things around Dune Prophecy. We'll be covering the show, the TV show, on the podcast, episode by episode. We're also maybe toying with doing sort of like live reaction things on YouTube, like immediately after the show comes out on Sunday nights, like if that's possible in our schedules. That might be
Yeah.
a fun thing to do. Like the minute the show ends, you know, like 9 p.m. the show ends, we go live at
Hop in
9:30
Discord,
talking
yeah.
about it, whatever.
It'd be fun.
That would be fun, sort of like instant reactions, and then we'd have our actual episode reactions released on the podcast feed Monday mornings. We'll let you know what's happening with our coverage of it as our plans solidify as well. But I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I think
Same.
more Dune is always good Dune, even if it's not the greatest content made by Frank Herbert himself. I think I will be enjoying revisiting this universe that I love a lot
Yeah.
in the form of this show. And at the very least, it looks like there will be pretty pictures and pretty people acting on screen. And sometimes that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, probably the most populated scenes we've seen in the Dune universe since the sci-fi series. So very excited to see some of these shots.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
y'all.
is-
Thanks for tuning in. And
Yes.
we will see you soon with more Dune Prophecy coverage. Catch you over on the Discord and the Patreon and all of that stuff. Bye.
Goodbye.